Good evening. Welcome to Swag Her Magazine. This segment is the In Between, um, where we have honest conversation in real time. My name is Lachey Young, and today I have a very special guest, my best friend, Amber Burnett. I'm going to let her tell a little about herself because I could go on and on, but I'm going to let her talk about herself for a second, and then we are going to go from there.
Well, hello, hello. Thank you for having me. This is an absolute pleasure to be able to do this and go through this with you, my lovely bestie. So thank you for that. But again, my name is Amber, Amber Lee Burnett, but I go by Amber. I am a registered nurse here in the state of Ohio. I am also a business owner and CEO of the Stay Retreat Recovery Home, and I have a background in trauma based nursing as well as emergency medicine. And I'm happy to be here.
Sorry. And I am grateful for you being here with me today. So, this whole segment is all about the different ways of healing,
Mhm.
things that mental health, things that people, measures that people take to make themselves feel however they want to feel. And I felt like you would be an amazing person, especially with your new business that helps those that go through like plastic surgery and things of that such, to talk about that. Like, incorporate that with mental health and as well as even our identity because everyone doesn't wake up and like what they see, and
Right.
everyone also don't have the funds or the resources to be able to go change what they see. Can you go ahead and tell me a little bit about that?
So the computer kind of broke up a little bit. So the beginning part of it, what did you ask me to go into? I'm sorry. It's frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm sorry. So, like how even with plastic surgery, how do we
Oh.
incorporate that with like mental health,
Oh,
identity, and becoming? Because
okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So the first thing I'll always tell any of my patients that are inquiring about plastic or cosmetic surgery, first thing is definitely getting the mental straight. What is the foundation? What is the core reason as to why you need this or you feel like you desire it? Most people either have overcome what we call identity crisis or body image issues where they have gained so much weight and then recently maybe have lost a mass amount of weight and what they see in the mirror is not what they thought they were going to enjoy, so they go down that venture of cosmetic surgery to repair those things, those areas. Mental health, when people are losing weight, I tell people all the time it's more than just losing the weight. Each pound that you're losing is a layer of trauma. It could be a layer of situations that you have gone through, that you have witnessed. And in most cases, we as humans, especially women, we tend to emotionally eat.
mhm,
And we eat when we're happy, we eat when we're sad, we're celebrating, it's a great time. I reached another achievement, a milestone in life, and we eat. But when we are forced to go restrictive, and what I mean by that is changing the habits and the lifestyle changes that incorporates living a healthier lifestyle when it comes to food, you're forced to deal with the things that's caused you those issues to force you to eat in an
mhm,
emotional state. So my number one suggestion for anyone is definitely talk to somebody.
right,
And it's not just somebody. If it's someone in your family, start there. Most of us were not raised to be okay with having a therapist or a counselor. That's a whole nother topic, right? But talk to someone. If you start somewhere, those layers will start to shed, and then you'll be able to face them.
okay. And then my next question would be, what made you want to decide to open this business? Now we know when you have plenty of conversations, there's so many things that you are capable of doing. But what
Yeah.
made you decide to go this direction?
So personally, I am a person that's gone through cosmetic surgery. And one of the big reasons why I did that was I am one of those people that lost a lot of weight And in that journey, during that journey, I've come across quite a few women and even men that have gone through the same things that I had recently gone through, but there was not enough support. You run the risk of, after those surgical procedures, what support do you have at home?
Hmm.
What support do you have, not just mentally, but physically? Who's going to help you take care of those wounds when you're not able to do so? So that's one piece. The second piece of it is mental health plays a big part after cosmetic surgery. A lot of people don't understand that. Normally by day 3 or 4, you're hitting that wall like, why did I do this to myself?
Hmm.
I was okay. I was beautiful the way I was. I'm just doing this for someone else. But in all actuality, that's almost like buyer's remorse. We go and we spend this a large amount of money on a house, a car, a bag, or whatever it may be. And then when we leave, like, now why did you do that? It's
Yeah.
the same thing. um, but my purpose behind it is, how do I become an asset to those people, so that way I can be a part of those journeys and let them, feel supported, and that way they can heal better.
Hmm.
You run less risk of infection, you run less risk of mental breakdowns that's silent, and no one knows that you're going through it. So it was always in me, even prior to actually getting that surgery, because even just on the medical aspect of things, going home and not having help or having the
Yeah.
support, how do we help that? How do we prevent other things from happening? So that was the whole goal.
And do you feel like with I'm sure you probably tapped a little bit of it. Do you feel like I know mental health has a lot to do with a lot of things, especially like surgeries and just life.
Mhm.
Um, do you feel like when some people have the surgeries and have the complications and things, the mental part of it has a lot to do with it? Like, if you feel great and you are mentally strong, you have a better chance of fighting anything, recovering from anything,
Yeah.
outside of the other things that go wrong. But do you feel like the mental part of it, or the mental part of it, has anything to do with that
Oh,
part of it?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And you actually touched on it. We always go off of look good, feel good, look good, right? But there's going to be those days that you don't feel good. And it will play a part on how, you see yourself. You're going to look at yourself, you're going to see bruises, you're going to see wounds, you're going to see incisions, you're going to see those things try to heal. And you're going to think to yourself, why did I do this to myself? Like I said, but it's just a matter of what got you to that place,
Yeah.
right? We have to kind of take a step back and reset and just reevaluate and reassess that core reason behind it. um it's so important that people understand that pain is associated. It is a vital, right? When
Yeah.
people go get your vitals done, and your blood pressure and your temperature and stuff like that, they always ask you rate your pain 0 to 10, because
Right.
it's a real thing. It is a real thing. And so if you're in pain, a lot of times it stops you from wanting to be mobile. It's almost impossible. Again, that's why it's important to have the support that you need to give you the motivation. Get up, you have to move, because if you don't, you're going to run the risk of blood clots, you're going to run the risk of this, and then that's a whole different situation that can weigh on your mental health.
Right. And then, so my next question would be, do you feel as a nurse, right?
Hmm.
And if you can't answer, it's fine. But do
Hmm.
you feel like they give enough like psych evals before
No,
some people go into these surgeries? Okay.
no, no. um, let's talk about bariatric surgery, right?
Right.
A lot of times, well, when bariatrics first kind of came on the scene, it was like a miracle thing, right? It
Yeah.
was like some people viewed it as a quick fix,
Yeah.
or a way out, or a cheat. And unfortunately, that's a whole nother conversation too, but that's not the case, because when people go through bariatric surgery, it is not, you go into the doctor and say, I want to have this surgery because I no longer want to be heavy, and then you sign papers, pay money, and you lay on the table. That's not what
Right.
that's not what it looks like. You have a whole journey, you have requirements, you have to be restrictive prior to, and including is a psych eval. Now, if if it was a requirement to have a level of evaluation for the psych before cosmetic surgery, a lot of people wouldn't have it,
Yeah.
because they don't want to face those demons.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about those reasons. They don't want to talk about how they truly view themselves when they
Yeah.
look in the mirror.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
feel like that will cause I feel like that causes a lot of people to have even the issues afterwards because if you're not doing the inside work, then
Mm-hmm.
how do you do the outside work first? Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that should go either hand in hand or one has to be done before the other because I know people that have done the surgery and they look absolute I mean nothing is out of place and they still struggle with what they
Mm-hmm.
see.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get rid of that if you already did the outside but haven't did the inside? Like, is it too late? Is it
It's
yeah,
not
is it
too late. I would no. I don't believe it's too late. But it's all you got to be honest with yourself.
yeah,
People have to start being transparent and willing to be honest with themselves. If you're not honest with yourself, you're going to have that outcome, a dishonest and you're not going to like what you see because
right.
who you really are, you never got to the grit of it.
Yeah,
You never got through those the traumatic experiences, whatever that looks like, whether you essayed or any level of abuse, abandonment issues. I hear it a lot from a lot of women. You know, I suffer from abandonment issues. I suffer from neglect. I suffer from this. Well, what are we doing about it? Because going out and getting a new bottom, some bigger breast, and a flat stomach is not going to do it
right.
because once it's done and during that healing process and you're going through that pain and you're now questioning why did I do this to myself, you're forced yet again to face yourself. Now you're forcing yourself to look at in the mirror at a bruised up individual, um, and new wounds that are now visually in your face. You're
Yeah,
forced to see it. But is it too late? No. What I would say though is if you haven't started doing the work prior to getting the surgery, you're going to definitely need to start bringing somebody on board almost immediately after that surgery or any of the, whether it's a BBL, even liposuction. I had a client about a month ago that went through liposuction and her words were, "Oh, it's just liposuction. I'll just put this garment on, I'll get my massages." Great. Yeah, no.
yeah,
That's not how that works because when she couldn't get a hold of a massage therapist that focused on that type of massage
hmm,
and she had to endure that level of pain, now it's why did I do this?
yeah,
Liposuction is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. And
right.
then as I sat and talked to her, it's like, well, why did you get it? Those are the questions I asked.
Yeah,
Why did you feel like you need it? Why were you on board with it? And as time, went on and the conversation got a little deeper, it was my partners didn't like my stomach. Well, you had 4 kids. Okay, like you
yeah,
had 4 kids, and sometimes the body just does what it does, and no matter if she's a gym rat, she
yeah,
works out in the gym religiously,
yeah,
but the body does what it does.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's an example of why people do it, and then they realize I didn't do it for me.
Do you feel like that's the same thing with like the shots and stuff that's out? Like I'm on Ozempic,
Hmm.
and I know without it I'm going to eat. With it, it's very my cravings are removed.
Hmm.
However, I don't mind getting in the mirror and telling myself that I love myself, you know?
Absolutely.
But do you feel like it is the same work that you need to do or recommended to do, even with that, even though it's just something as simple as a shot where you don't
Mm.
have much pain, you don't have the bruising. Once it's done, it's done. You know, you go about your business.
Yeah, well, the thing about the shots is this: you may not see the bruising, you may not see the incisions, but the internal damage, if you're mishandling it, you
Yeah.
will feel it.
Okay.
You will feel the nauseousness. You will feel the blood pressures dropping. You will feel the insomnia. You will feel those things because you're doing it and you're mishandling it. People that are on these injections are a lot of times abusing them and they're
Yeah.
not doing them the correct way,
Yeah.
whether that's financial, right? Some people's insurance are only approving a certain amount, and some people's insurance don't even cover it altogether. So I witnessed a young lady a couple weeks ago say that she was, she wanted to go ahead and get her prescription. And what she was doing was she learned on TikTok how to withdraw the medication out of the injector so she can disperse them in different syringes to stretch out her dose. I said, sweetheart, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
The dosage is calculated in that plunger. You doing that, you are destroying it altogether. And you're causing more damage to yourself because you're not really educated on what dose you're putting in you. And that's what I mean when I say it's a very dangerous way to maintain a healthy weight when people are cutting corners, they are going through these third party vendors,
Yeah. Yeah.
and using other people's medications, because that's a big one too with those shots.
Yeah.
But it just speaks volumes to, yet again, the people in our community um, that may or may not have the resources, or haven't dealt with the internal issues to why they want it to be a quick fix.
Which makes sense because it still goes back to not doing the initial work.
Absolutely.
Let's see. I had another question. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're fine. And while you're looking for that question, I will touch on it. I think that the shots, um, when they came out with them to for weight loss focus, not just for diabetes, education is everything. Education is everything. And I think that if you are struggling with your weight, there are a lot of factors, whether it's PCOS in our
Mhm.
women, hormonal dysfunctions, imbalances, things of that sort, which also plays a part in our mental health.
Yeah.
I think that those shots came out, those injections, the medications came out with a good reason. That they have great outcomes
Hmm.
as long as they're being done right and used properly.
Okay. Now I want to spin the block a little bit. Okay.
Let's spin it, girl.
All right. So this segment is all healing, but it's out of the box. It's every
Yeah,
avenue,
let's
right?
do it.
So my question is, your point of view. What
Hmm.
does healing look like when it is quiet and ongoing, not dramatic or visible?
Hmm. Scary, intimidating. Okay.
Okay.
Scary and intimidating. But you
Okay.
know what? It has to be done, and it will be done because you have allowed yourself to get in that very scary, intimidating state.
Okay.
That's when you can look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm ready. But it does look like, for me, let me just say this. For me, it was scary. It's still scary because every day I'm on a journey. My journey, outside of just healing in the aspect of weight loss, cosmetics, and mental, is, my I have grade 2 astrocytoma. So I have brain masses. I have what they call stiff person syndrome. Some days I can walk and some days I can't. Living in that space where you have to shut everything down to reset your mind so your body can refocus and function can be scary. But when you are surrounding yourself in those quiet moments with a group of people, a village of people that pour into you instead of pouring out and pulling and just taking everything out of you,
Mhm.
that's when you know you're going to come out.
Okay.
That's when you know.
Okay. So now with you saying that, because I wasn't gonna bring it up,
Hmm.
but with you saying that, if someone was watching today that
Hmm.
struggles with even a piece of your diagnosis, what would you recommend them to do to get up every day outside of having a best friend that will threaten you?
Because you do. My God, you do. I had to really dig deep into purpose. And I had to dig deep into understanding that there is pain in purpose. There is no reason that people should be okay with processing any level of pain in the physical or the mental, emotional, and believe that they don't have a purpose here. I have to push. because my purpose is I have children. I have a wonderful best friend.
You do. You're welcome.
I have family members that actually love me. Um, I have people that cover me, and God was loving enough to give me my push gift, my grandbaby. And she's 2, she'll be 3 soon. And this past week and a half, I was not well. But watching her come into that restroom and try and help guide me out of that bathtub, I said, okay, God, I see what you're doing. Okay, okay, we're getting it. But those are those things that I wake up to every day. And when I take that breath, I'm like, thank you. Because you
Yeah.
didn't have to do, like, I don't have to, who am I?
Yeah.
I'm not entitled to have to be given another day, but I am. So those are the things that you have to kind of dig deep into. What is your purpose? Some people call it distractions, whatever word you want to use, but make sure they're healthy distractions and make sure that you are surrounding yourself with the least amount of toxicity and drama. People can be dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
People can be selfish. People can be misunderstood all the time. And if I can also say this,
Hmm.
I've had quite a few friendships that I can go on record by saying I have mishandled. And I've mishandled those friendships because I was fearful. I have walked in uncertainty. I have walked in a space of why do I owe you this when I'm fighting for my life?
Yeah.
And that was unfair because although I'm fighting every day that fight, these people were wanting to be a part of that fight and not make me feel alone. And it hurts my heart, but I ask for forgiveness every day.
Yeah.
And once I've apologized, the old Amber used to be like, oh God, they don't love me no more. They don't like me no more. They don't want to talk to me no more. Like, what did I do? I said I'm sorry. I apologize. How can I make this right? No, I've done my part.
Yeah.
Now all I can do is every day look for another opportunity for a certain encounter so that people that I may have mishandled in those times of fear, that they forgive me and understand. That's all you can
Yeah.
do.
That's all. That is all. Okay. So we'll get emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Okay.
Oh, cry babies.
Right. What does it look like for people to prioritize their mental health over their physical health? Like,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. I've I'm still on that. I'm still on that journey. But I've started journaling again. And originally my journaling started because and I know you hate to hear this stuff, but it's the reality of it, right? So originally I started journaling again because I wanted to leave you and my kids and those that I love something to always go back to. What was
Right.
Amber thinking about? What, like, one of her jokes or sarcastic
Or
comments or
dreams. Uh
whatever,
huh.
or my dreams, right?
Yes.
Right. Um, but in journaling, I've started realizing that I started separating the journaling for everyone to then journaling for Amber. Amber, what do you want to do today? The first thing I want to do every day is I turn everything off. I don't even, I used to get up and turn my music on or listen to my gospel while I'm preparing for work. I don't even do that anymore. I literally is so quiet in my house. I want silence while I'm getting ready for the day so that way I can have an intimate relationship with him.
Yeah.
And in that time I'm releasing any doubt, any fears, any concerns that I may be going through on that particular day.
Hmm.
And then I force myself to take moments in the shower or in the bathtub and just breathe. I've learned to start breathing, like exercises. And then outside of that, I've incorporated getting my massages again.
Yeah.
People don't understand how much a massage can really release the serotonins and all of those things that just cram up in you and causes your body to hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay. So as we wrap up, I want to be able to give our final thoughts, and then also please highlight your business once again for us and where it's located and everything that comes along with it, please.
I can do that. I can do that. So we'll start off with the business. So again, my business is called the Estate Retreat Recovery. It is located in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and surrounding areas. But it's a nurse concierge service. What that means is whether you're going to have cosmetic surgery in Ohio, Houston, Miami, wherever it is, and you may need that extra help, that support, that safety net. Um, you can hire me and my team, and we would put a package together. If it's locally, we can come and stay overnight at the location, primarily here in Columbus. But if it's uh, Miami or somewhere else, we can travel with you and make sure like your wounds are taken care of.
Hmm.
We are your word, your voice while you're behind the scenes with the surgeons and your family. Um, Medications, all of that. So we put together the massages, anything that you would probably need, including the serene time, that shutdown time.
Yeah.
You're turning on our sound machine, whatever it is that's going to allow you to decompress mentally, and then journal as well. So that is the business. And final thoughts.
Hmm.
Okay. So, final thoughts for me is in any situation, on any journey, whether it is in a physical healing state, a mental, or even just a lifestyle change, it's still a journey of healing. Learning how to be accepted, learning how to love the skin you're in and the person that you see every morning.
Hmm.
Spend time with yourself. Be honest with yourself. When you look in the mirror, understand that you are not the trauma. You're just a product of the survivorship of it. When you overcome things, life becomes a lot easier because you put the work in. You have to be willing to put the work in. Before going to get any cosmetic surgery, work on the inside first because that outside can be beautiful, but the inside could be so broken
Yeah.
and unhealed and ultimately alone.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. So I want to say I absolutely appreciate you for being my first guest on the In Between, a segment where we have conversations about healing, identity, queerness, the soft life, and just simply becoming in whatever that may be. So thank you for being my guest, for being my best friend, and for gracing this my presence, okay? And for every viewer, um, just remember becoming is different for everyone, healing is different for everyone, your identity is different from everyone, and wherever you are today is enough. I love you. The world loves you. Well, we all love you. Let's just say the world is whatever you make it be.
That's right.
Enjoy your day. Please tune in with me next Tuesday, same time, new guest. Love you guys. Be blessed.
Bye. Thank you.